come on and they're like, I've grown this hair for 1 year. First of all, you're having unrealistic expectations because you do not know what this person does behind the scenes. Hi friends, praise God, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Bree, and we're back with another natural hair video. Yes, if you're a returning subscriber, I appreciate you so much. Thank you for loving me. If it's your first time seeing me, my name is Bree. I do natural hair content, so be sure to subscribe and join the family. Like, share, comment, tell a friend, tell another friend about the video and the channel. So today's video is going to be a conversation. As you all can tell from the title, I'm going to be talking about 5 bad hair habits that you should stop. Honestly speaking, when you're starting out your natural hair journey, the information on the internet can get overwhelming. There is too much information. It can get confusing. What do I do? What do I not do? What DIY should I do? It's just too much information on the internet about natural hair growth, and it can get very overwhelming and very confusing. But there are also mistakes we make when we are starting out, and even as we continue with our daily natural hair journey, things we do that are not good for our hair, intentionally or unintentionally. So I put a few things down and I just wanted to make a video about it. So let's just get straight into the video. If you see me bending down, I'm looking at my notes. I jotted them down to make sure that I do not forget anything. So the first hair habit that is bad for your hair growth is not having a solid, consistent hair routine. Having a hair routine is the most important thing in your hair journey. If you don't have a hair routine, you're not going to maximize how healthy your hair can be and the things your hair can do. And the thing is, it doesn't need to be complicated. You don't need to be doing a million things with your hair routine. Create a hair routine for you that can easily fit into your daily schedule, so that way the hair routine doesn't feel like a chore, like hair care doesn't feel like a chore. You just need to make it as simple as possible, depending on the time you have available. I mean, if you want a million things and you can be consistent with that, do you? But keeping it as simple as possible is the best way to go. You don't need to be doing too much. Generally, a hair routine will make your hair more manageable. It will make you more responsible about your hair. Okay, think about it this way. Your hair is a part of your body, and the exact same way you take care of your body, the way you shower every single day to make sure your body is okay, I mean, that's if you shower every day, is the same way you should take care of your hair every single day. I've seen people who buy products and they ask you, do I need to buy this every single time? Do you need to shower every single time? Yes, because at the end of the day, hair care is not a one-time thing. It's not a one-month thing. You're going to do this literally for the rest of your life, and that's the honest truth. So just have a routine that just fits in with your daily schedule. That way it will be simple for you to take care of your hair on a daily basis. Yeah, be consistent and be very diligent with it. Be very intentional with your hair, and you'll see it flourishing every single day. The second bad hair habit is detangling, dry hair, and fingers in the hair syndrome. Detangling dry hair is the worst decision you could ever do for your hair, because when our hair is dry, it is very, very prone to breaking. So when you decide to detangle dry hair, every time you decide to detangle dry hair, like comb your hair when it's dry, keep in mind that you're losing more hair than you need to be losing because it is very dry. Have you heard of the fingers in hair syndrome? like those people who can't keep their fingers away from their hair. Their fingers are always in their hair. When you do that, whenever you put your fingers in your hair, best believe you're breaking hair. Your fingers are coming out with hair, and you're losing hair that you don't need to be losing. I know you want to touch the hair, but leave it alone. Leave the hair alone. You don't need to have your fingers in the hair every single time. Like, just leave it alone and do not detangle dry hair. Use a leave-in conditioner with lots of sleep. You can do finger detangling, and finger detangling, not fingers in the hair syndrome. And you can dampen your hair every time you want to detangle it. That way you're not losing as much hair as you could have when it is dry. The third thing is this one, most of us have fallen victim of it. This is comparing your hair journey with others, and having unrealistic expectations. Let me even put my book down for this. Bantumwe. I believe all of us are fallen victim of this. Like, when I was starting out my hair journey, I used to look at people on YouTube and Instagram. They come on and they're like, I've grown this hair for 1 year. And in my mind, I'm like, oh, she did it in 1 year. I'm going to do it. I'm also going to do it. My hair was not at that length in 1 year. Comparing your hair with another person is, you're going to just break your heart for nothing. First of all, you're having unrealistic expectations because you do not know what this person does behind the scenes. You might find, first of all, that they've had their hair for longer than they are telling you. They might have had their hair for about 5 years or 4 years or 7 years or 11 years. Because at the end of the day, when a content creator says, if they are not being truthful, if they say, oh, I've grown this hair for a year, they're just doing it for views. At the end of the day, you're going to go watch their video and they're going to get paid at the end of the day. So they're doing it for views. But there are some whose genes are really good and who really take care of their hair, so they might have gotten that length in 1 year. But as I was saying, you do not know what they do behind the scenes. Most of these people who come on here, on YouTube or on Instagram, and they're content creators for specifically natural hair, and they have a healthy, natural long hair, most of them, if not all of them, have solid routines, hair routines. They take care of their hair on a daily basis. There's a lot that goes into hair care. What you eat, your health, exercising, your diet. These people might be doing all these things behind the scene. For you, you're seeing long hair. They have long hair. They say they grew it in 1 year, 2 years. You're like, what are they using? So you also run and get it thinking that it will do the same things as it is doing in their hair. Honestly, I have a product line, a natural hairs product line, but I'm going to tell you the truth. Not all hair products will work for you. I may be using a product and you may use it and it may not work for you. First of all, don't write it off immediately. First think, have you used it the proper way, the way it's instructed? Have you been consistent? Have you used it for about 2 months and it's just not working? Then probably that's not the product for you, because at the end of the day, that product is working for me and it's doing things for me. So it means the issue is not the product. The issue is the product is just not for you. So let's leave the whole habit of, oh, what are you using? I also want to use it. It doesn't mean that what I use may not work for you. I mean, try a product, and if it works for you, good and well. But if it doesn't work for you, move on and find something that will work for you. So let's not have unrealistic expectations. Let us be patient. Let me tell you, one of the things that has taught me patience in my life is growing my hair. because it's like the hair has its own brain and mind, and it will do things and you're like, but really, do not compare your hair with anyone's. It's good to admire people and be inspired by their hair and their journey, and be inspired by the habits they are doing, but just don't have unrealistic expectations, because your heart will be broken, you'll be disappointed. Anyway, let's move on to the other point. So the fourth point is doing too much. Like I said in the first point, where I said having a solid routine, you don't need to be doing a million things. You don't need to be doing a million things. I fell victim of this when I was starting out my hair journey. I transitioned. I didn't do a whole big chop and stuff. I transitioned to natural hair. But the more people told me, oh, your hair looks nice, oh, what are you using, is the more I felt the need to style my hair every time I was leaving the house, so that I take a picture and they were like, oh my god, your hair is nice. But this hurt my hair and I didn't realize it, because I was leaving the house, I mean, every single day, every 3 days, every 4 days, and I used to restyle my hair every single time I left the house. Keep in mind that every single time you style your hair breaks, you lose hair. So at the end of the day, you are losing more hair than you're growing, because your hair grows on a daily basis. But if you're losing more hair than you're growing, that's when you hear people say things like, my hair doesn't grow. No, sis, your hair grows, but you're being careless with your hair, so you're breaking more hair than you're growing. You're not seeing length, you're not seeing your hair change, but it's actually growing. So you don't need to do too much. You don't need to have a million things on your routine. Keep it simple. You don't need to style your hair every single time. In fact, if your hair is not in braids or something, please style it for at least a week. Like, leave your hair alone for at least a week. Minimum, leave it for 5 days. Like, style it on Monday. If you want to change it on Saturday. Like, just leave it alone. Let your hair be. Let your hair be, because every time your hands are in the hair, every time your comb is in the hair, you're breaking and you will not see growth. So for the fifth, but definitely not the least, is, and quote me right on this, please listen to what I say very well, overly using heat. Overly using heat. I'm not saying heat is bad, so don't come for me saying, hey, why are you saying heat is bad? No, heat is not bad if it's used the right way. Because if you're low porosity, you'll be told use a little bit of heat. That's why you have things like heating cups and all that. For low porosity people, using heat indirectly, not directly on your hair, will help the products penetrate easily in your hair. So heat in itself, indirect heat is not bad. Also, when you decide to use direct heat, which you shouldn't do oftenly, make sure that you're using a heat protectant on your hair. If you don't have that, waste on your heat. Waste on your heat. I'm just going to tell it straight up. I've seen people who blow dry their hair every time they wash your hair. Sis, you're going to get heat damage. You are going to get heat damage, and your hair is going to look like it's processed, yet it's not. Like, no, it's not advised. I wouldn't advise you. You can use heat, but don't do it every single time. Do it like twice a year or once a year, and use a heat protectant if you're planning on using direct heat. I hope you learned something. Thank you so much for watching until the end. Remember to like, share, comment, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell another friend about the video and the channel. I love you guys so very much. I appreciate each one of you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you guys so much. Remember that God loves you and that you're fearfully and wonderfully made, and never let anyone tell you otherwise. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.